Today I fucked up by calling out my dog's name, River, loudly and theatrically whilst standing in a river. Currently holidaying in the Lake District. We were on a cycle trail along a river which goes over a number of bridges. Boat today I fucked up all day. The scenery is amazing. We come to an area where you can go down to the water. Really idyllic. I'm with in-laws and brother-in-law's family. We have 4 dogs between us. My dog, River, heads off downstream, obviously has a scent of something. After a few minutes you can barely see her in the distance. She's not coming to the whistle, so I go and stand on a prominent rock, and start shouting her name. For a solid minute and in multiple tones, I loudly bellow River, River, River. There are people on the bridge above, there are families around me having picnics. My family are laughing at me on the bank and I have no idea why. It was only after she returned finally that they were like, "You're just shouting River at the river and none of these people know why." I have been laughing on and off since. Too long didn't read. I stood in a crowd of strangers at a river and shouted the word river over and over, oblivious to how weird it seemed. Edit, thank you friendly people. I appreciate all the positivity. I've had a laugh reading other people's stories too. In college I briefly lived in a house with a sort of communal dog, who I occasionally took for walks. He got off his leash at one point and took off into this city neighborhood, and I had to sprint around a not unquestionable part of town yelling cheese at the top of my lungs. I miss that mutt. Sorry man, we've only got this Afghan kush right now, shit's fire toe. My grandma had a beagle. He wasn't terribly well trained. Still, my dad took her rabbit hunting with our beagles one day. Just the one day. He said never again after he had to wander through the woods, carrying a shotgun, yelling "Bunny, come here Bunny," when she got too excited and was off following scent trails. Not unlike the time when the TSA agent asked me which airport gate I was headed to. Told her I couldn't tell her since it might get me arrested. TSA, puzzled look. Me, C4 / true story and dad joke all in one, and yes, she laughed / that's fantastic. Sometimes these designers don't think these things through. Somewhat related, I had a flight a few weeks ago and flew out of gate D32 or something like that. TSA agent checking tickets looked at me quizzically and asked why I was in Terminal D, not Terminal C where D32 is located. Major facepalm moment. My dad's dog was called Echo, an unfortunate name for a dog with a tendency to run off. Got some rather odd looks wandering round a park shouting Echo with no dog anywhere to be seen. I had a neighbor whose dog was named Danger, riding my bike past their house when suddenly danger. Danger. I had a good laugh after my initial fear for safety. High voltage. When we touch. When we kiss. Today I fucked up by letting my 14-year-old daughter take pictures of my cum shots. My wife and I have been going through a serious sexual drought due to our bed getting mysteriously louder and our son's room being directly beneath ours. The day before yesterday we get a slight reprieve when he decided to go to his friend's house for an overnight stay, so we hurry to bed to get some sexy time in. We start doing the thing, and we end up in the jockey position, and in my infinite wisdom, I decide to pull out and give her a facial. I have a vasectomy, this is all for show. I miss, the first shot goes right into my wife's ear. First time this has happened, she turns away and the rest lands in her hair and on her back. After a few laughs we do a quick cleanup and pass out. The next day my daughter insists on heading out first thing for some incredibly urgent teenage thing and decides to help her mom get ready to ensure maximum efficiency. She notices her mom's hair is extra matted in the back, asks for her phone, takes a picture to show her, and offers to help her get it out. My wife and I both scream no, probably a little too energetically, and kick her out so we can take a shower. Too long didn't read, I shot semen into my wife's hair, daughter saw it and took a picture the next morning. She didn't know what it was, offered to get it out. WD-40, for the bed volume, that is. There's something about mom. My man has some balls of steel to post that title. The title was sketchy AF but the story is hilarious. Stories like these make me wonder how much stuff I saw as a kid that I was completely oblivious to. Stop wondering before it's too late and you remember. Lamau. Today I fucked up by masturbating with my BF's rotten semen. First thing to know is that I am anosmic. I have no sense of smell, none at all, due to an accident 10 years ago. My boyfriend and I are in a long-distance relationship. We're both highly sexual people who like to try new things to keep the sexual chemistry alive. At one point, a few months after starting long distance, I asked him if he could keep his cum for me when he masturbates and mail it to me. I really loved the idea that all of his cum belongs to me. So he agrees. I start getting regular packages from Paris filled with vials of his cum. I promptly buy a little necklace on Etsy that looks like a gem, but can twist off the top and put a liquid in it. Ironically, I think it's meant to store perfume in. I dribble his cum in there and wear around my neck every day. I notice that after some time the cum starts yellowing too much, so I replace it with fresh cum. I should mention, I am in college and I lived in dorms. I share a flat with another chick. This chick happens to be an RA. Anyway, one afternoon, I'm feeling horny and I decide to try using the actual cum to wank with. It was fun and somewhat messy. Shortly after, people start knocking at the door of our flat. My flatmate answers. Essentially the entire floor had come out of their rooms and all are absolutely horrified by the smell. I'm not exaggerating, like every single person in the floor was in the hallway, aghast at the stench. Apparently it smelled like a corpse. My roommate asks me if I know what the smell is and I say, I don't know. Maybe it's the sardines I had earlier. The can is still in the trash. She says no, this isn't a fish smell. It's the smell of something dead. I was mortified, but really grateful I wasn't caught. No one ever found out that the putrid odor was in fact that of months-old rotten semen. The story ends with me getting a urinary tract infection, UTI, that lasted about 2 months and took several rounds of antibiotics to cure. The moral of the story is, refrigerate your boyfriend's cum, and smell it before each use. Too long didn't read. I masturbated using a vial of my long-distance BF's putrefied cum. Corpse-like stench overpowered the entire dorm. This story happened a few years ago, actually. Thought it was too good not to share though. No messages PLS. Edit. / Thanks for the awards y'all. I didn't expect you to be so thoroughly shocked, somehow. Also, I wanted to reiterate that this happened a few years ago, and is indeed a real story. And, since some have asked, I'm a woman, 31 now, 24 at the time. I'll never forget this post, ever. You will permanently hold real estate in my brain for the rest of my life. I'm not the kind of person who kink shames, but what the actual fuck? I came here for rotten semen. And that's what I got. I think I should go to bed now. But I'm curious, he sends you cum, what do you send him? I'm an artist, I'd upload a pornographic drawing of us every day on a private Tumblr. Okay, enough internet for today. The moral of the story is, refrigerate your boyfriend's cum, and smell it before each use. This is the moral of the story, / Moral of the story should be, don't be a fucking degenerate who keeps cum stored around like you're a goddamn rental spunk bank.